The United States Surgeon General made it official. We are living through a loneliness epidemic. 1 in 4 adults say they feel completely cut off from the world around them, invisible, unreachable, alone. But not you. You saw the name on your screen, you felt nothing, and you put the phone face down. And here is the part nobody dares to say out loud. You are not suffering. You are not spiraling. You are sitting in the quiet you built for yourself, and it feels like the first full breath you have taken in years. So, what happened to you? And more importantly, when did it stop feeling like something was wrong? There was a version of you that people depended on completely. You were the 2 a.m. phone call person, the one who absorbed the chaos so everyone else could feel calm, the peacekeeper, the problem solver, the one who listened to the same story for the 4th time and still offered something kind. You were reliable in a way that cost you everything quietly. And then, one unremarkable day, you just did not pick up. No dramatic decision, no speech. You simply did not answer. And the world, shockingly, kept spinning. It got quieter. You got lighter. That was not a breakdown. That was your body finally telling the truth. Psychologist Dr. Stephen Porges spent decades studying what happens inside the nervous system when a person has been overextended for too long. His research, known as the Polyvagal Theory, reveals something important. Your nervous system has modes, and one of those modes exists for a single purpose: protection. When people have taken more than they have given, when connection has repeatedly meant depletion, your brain does not wait for you to make a conscious choice. It makes one for you. It pulls you inward. Researchers call this the dorsal vagal response, a kind of intelligent shutdown, conservation, retreat. Not because you are broken, because your nervous system is working exactly as it should. It is treating your energy like the finite, irreplaceable resource it is. The real question is this: where did your nervous system learn that people were something to survive in the first place? For many of us, the answer lives somewhere in childhood. You may have learned to read a room before you could read a clock, watching a parent's face the moment they walked through the door, measuring the atmosphere before anyone spoke a word, understanding early that love and unpredictability often arrive together. Psychologist Murray Bowen gave this a name: emotional cutoff. It's the pattern that forms when a child realizes that closeness carries a cost, that safety and solitude are sometimes the same thing. So you adapted. You became perceptive beyond your years. You learned that the quietest corner of the room was often the safest one. That was not a flaw developing inside you. That was a blueprint your younger self drew just to get through the day. And now, decades later, that blueprint still activates whenever someone steps too close, too fast, with too little to offer. But here is where honesty matters. Because not every wall is a boundary, and not every closed door leads to peace. The CDC has documented what prolonged isolation does to the body. It raises the risk of heart disease by 29%, stroke by 32%. Social disconnection is not just emotional, it rewires your physical health over time. But here is what that data leaves out. Being surrounded by the wrong people causes damage too. The chronic stress of one-sided relationships, of performing warmth you do not feel, of shrinking yourself to keep others comfortable, that has a body count as well. So the question worth sitting with is not whether you have cut people off, it is why, and how it felt after. If walking away brought relief, that is information. If silence replaced tension, that is not emptiness, that is clarity. Walls are built from fear and keep everyone out equally. Boundaries are built from self-knowledge and are far more precise. You likely already know the difference when you feel it. Here is something that does not get said enough about people like you. You are not randomly avoidant. You are a pattern recognition machine. You clocked the friend who only resurfaces during their own crises. You identified the family member whose praise always hides a hook. You saw the love bomber's cycle before it even completed its first rotation. A 2023 study published in Nature Neuroscience found that individuals who experienced early emotional stress developed heightened sensitivity in the brain's threat detection regions. Researchers at the University of Iowa found that the frontal lobe, the area governing complex social decisions, runs at an elevated level in people with this kind of background. You are not paranoid. You are not too much. You are running thousands of hours of lived data through a finely calibrated system, and when that system flags someone as a drain on your life, you have learned to take it seriously. That is not a wound. That is a skill. Society reaches for certain words when it tries to describe you: withdrawn, antisocial, isolated, cold. But those words carry an assumption baked into them that you are incomplete, that something is missing, that the goal was always to be surrounded and you have simply failed at it. Here is a different word, one that fits better: solitude. Loneliness is wanting connection and finding nothing. Solitude is choosing stillness and finding everything. You are not staring at your phone hoping someone calls. You are sitting inside a life you have carefully, deliberately made quieter, and it feels like exhaling. The people who do not understand will say you are running away. You know better. You are not escaping something. You are arriving somewhere. Toward peace. Toward a version of yourself that only exists in the absence of constant noise. That is not isolation. That is sanctuary. And you built it yourself. If you came to this video quietly wondering whether something is wrong with you, I want you to hear this like someone is saying it directly to you. Nothing is wrong with you. You are not cold. You are not incapable of love. You did not give up on people. You learned, the slow and costly way, that access to you is something worth protecting. And instead of becoming bitter from that lesson, you became intentional. That is not a character flaw. That is one of the quietest, fiercest forms of self-respect there is. Harvard followed the same group of people for 75 years, trying to unlock what makes a life genuinely good. The answer was not wealth, not status, not a full calendar or a wide social circle. It was the quality of the relationships people actually had. Small circles built on real seeing, that is not a consolation prize. That is the whole point. So if your world is smaller now, but it is honest, you are not doing it wrong. You are finally doing it right. If this felt like something you have needed to hear for a long time, leave a comment. I read every one. And in the meantime, protect your peace. You earned it.